Hey guys, what's up? It's me, People25 here, and today I'm back after probably 6 weeks or something stupid of a hiatus. Yeah, it's been a bit crazy for me as of late. First, I went down with a cold, and I don't like recording when I have a cold because I'm coughing and sneezing, and my voice is not as good as it usually is. I can't usually talk for long periods of time. Then I had an underlying sinus infection as a result of the cold, so that's taken 2 weeks to clear up. Then it came around to the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, my birthday, my 18th birthday, trying to deal with some mental health issues coming up as a result of stress from the holidays. It's been an interesting past month and a half or so for me. So today I hope to finally get back in the groove of uploading YouTube videos, presuming that school doesn't take away my life starting this coming Monday. And I'm back today with the second part of my top 150 Coaster Countdown Calamity series. Yeah, this one's we're just gonna sift through more bad stuff in order to actually get to some decent coasters. So we're going to start with number 135, Corkscrew at Valley Fair, a new challenger to kick it right off the bat. Yeah, it's a lot like Canavy's Corkscrew from last time, minus the additional vertical loop and maybe an additional helix or something. It's essentially the same, the model's slightly longer, slightly less rough, and over water, which is actually somewhat pleasing. Uh, Having a bad coasters on a pond over a pond is quite nice, regardless of where you are. But the thing is still absolutely bad. And the operations in this thing were dreadful. I just don't really like this thing, and this is not the last you're gonna be seeing of Valley Fair. 134 is Gotham City Gauntlet, coming in with a net loss of -4 after rewriting, I should say, this year when I revisited Six Flags New England. Just as bad as I remember it, if not confirming, just it's bad. I like aggressive mice, but the manufacturer, if they're going to try and attempt that, they need to have some cozy and safe and secure restraints. These guys have metal, unpadded T-bars, and I believe this coaster was relocated from Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom, now Kentucky Kingdom, when they closed. Yeah, this thing is just utter crap, and the walk-on in this thing was just explainable. I literally, both times I've ridden this, I've walked right on. I didn't have to go wait for any more than like 10 people. It's just, this thing, I don't know. They were supposed to get a Mack Wild Mouse, Dark Knight, but they got this instead, and the Dark Knight got outsourced to Mexico. So, their loss, I guess. Number 133 is Coast Rider, yet another wild mouse. This one actually would be good. Had it not been for an incident back in spring of 2017 where a small child somehow reached his leg out of the cart and injured himself. Cal OSHA stepped in, California politics made this a much more difficult affair than it ever needed to be, and they neutered the ride 3 times over by adding restrictive and uncomfortable shin bars. Now, I think this would be perfectly fine for kids, for people with smaller frames, more petite built people, but me as a 6'2" lanky dude with a bit of a gut will have trouble even fitting in, and I kind of can say with some shame that I took some bruises on my shin just for the +1 and for me to actually publicly shit on this coaster. Sorry for my cursing, I've just been really cynical as a result of the issues I've had over the past while. I'll try and stop. It's just, I rode this thing because I thought it'd be fun. I forgot the shin bars were a thing, and the photo on the right is the picture's worth 1,000 words just to say how awful those shin bars are. Yeah, I like being able to have some space. Freaking kids. Number 132 is Riddler Avenger at Six Flags New England. Even though it got a major renovation with some new trains, new paint job, new theme, it only goes up +9 in terms of net rankings from last year. Yeah, not exactly a good use of money, and it was still a walk-on for half the train. I just opted to wait for the front row for one train when I got on this thing. It was in the middle, and it was in the dog days of summer, and it was still a walk-on. Yeah, not very good. Yeah, there's some problems with headbanging, and there's no longer problems with headbanging, I should say, because the restraints are more vests than they are big wedges. but the hang and bang transition problems are still there in troves, and you're going to be flailing around every single inversion with some very uncomfortable transitions for all of that. It's not very fun. I'm sure if you like a rougher ride, you might appreciate this, but I still think it's definitely flawed and still has a lot of problems. Number 131 is Excalibur at Valley Fair. Yeah, I told you they're not done yet. Just over 10 places down, and Valley Fair has already shown up twice. Like, this is the 11th worst coaster on the list, and Valley Fair has already showed up twice. This one somehow reminds me of if Magnum XL 200 and a Chance Hyper GTX and an Aero Mine Train all somehow reproduced. And this was the result. It does not cross-cancel the issues that you'd probably anticipate, but genetics decides to take a massive crap on it and decides to combine the issues of it. It's got the clunky transitions and uncomfortable trains of the Magnum XL 200 mixed with the Aero Mine Trains. It's got the aggression and a couple decent airtime moments of the Chance Hyper GTX. But it has all the issues that Aero's Mine Train track and how it's not very well designed for a high-intensity layout. This thing was an interesting issue, and notice how Aero has not really put up any single other type of aggressive mine train like this since Excalibur. It also was a walk-on when I went. So, granted, Valley Fair, the longest wait I was in was a 15-minute wait for High Roller, which was running one train. So, yeah, that was not a very busy day. It was also 90. That's just dwelling in the past. Yeah, Excalibur, this thing's also been rumored to get the bulldozer for a while, but some issues with land development as well as Valley Fair's lack of building up funds probably has nullified any chance of this thing getting bulldozed, but maybe 2019 will be the year. I've been saying that it probably would get bulldozed for 2 years now, and now I could just assume safely that it probably will never get bulldozed, knowing my luck, because Valley Fair is so broke it just can't really expand, and it can just put in a small instant gratification attraction rather than banking up for a big B&M. Cedar Fair, can you please start profit sharing? Valley Fair can really need that. They haven't gotten a roller coaster in probably 10 to 12 years by now. Moving on, we have number 130, the Hometown Horror Demon, which has actually somehow gone up a spot, probably because of the shifting of rankings, and maybe, I don't know, I haven't ridden this thing since 2016, and that was just to get bad press on it. I refuse to ride this thing with friends, because even I tell them, hey, you're probably not going to have a good time. I like screaming at people on the midway saying, sorry for your decisions, when they go and the corkscrews over the midway, connecting Justice League to X-Flight. Yeah, all the same issues that the arrows apply, and it may have gotten worse from when I was first riding this thing back in 2009. And I'd rather go skinny dipping in the public fountain at park opening time, maybe even in December, on my own accord, than probably ride this thing sober. Maybe riding it, if I rode it on some sort of altering substance maybe, but sober, I'd probably rather skinny dip in the fountain in December. Yeah, I don't really like this thing, and I'd like to watch it from the sidelines, from the midway, like I said earlier, or even from Ricochet. Number 129 is Roar, which has somehow gone up 5 places from 2016's rankings. Much like Six Flags America's other coasters, well, actually all of them, I have not ridden this one since 2014, and the gain is likely because of competition falling further, newcomers sifting the hay, and probably realizing that I may have overhyped how bad this thing was. And if I rode it again, I'll probably just find it to be probably slightly better. It's probably not awful, but more around the realms of rough and mediocre. It's one of GCI's earliest works, and I can understand how it might not be aged as well. This thing's been rumored to get the RMC treatment for a while as well, and its cousin in San Diego, or sorry, not San Diego, in San Francisco, has gotten the RMC treatment before it when it was completely unnecessary. And they just put nylon wheels on Joker again. Kill me. I'm not making it back out there until they freaking stop being dumb. Moving on, we have number 128, which is Wildcat. That first drop and turnaround is probably the most beautiful bunch of twisted wood I've ever seen. And Roar and Wildcat are a match made in heaven in my countdown rankings, as they're 2 subpar GCIs that will very likely never split up until I revisit probably both of them. And even then, I'm sure there's a high chance they'll probably be so synonymous with roughness and infamy that I really don't need to split these guys up. It's just it's an inseparable pair of mediocrity, or if not even sub-mediocrity. Yeah. I just, everything I said about Roar, minus some park-specific things, applies there, and I have no need to repeat myself. I do say that I probably may have a chance to reride this in 2020, depending on how my finances and my ability to drive in that summer, because that will be the summer after my freshman year of university. And well, if I want to try and get back to Hershey Park to celebrate the opening of their B&M Hyper, if something doesn't overshadow it. Maybe Kings Island. Who knows at this point? It's 2019, and I'm so far behind. Moving on, we have number 127, Trailblazer. One of the most uninspired mine trains I've ever ridden, but the game because there might be a slight softness. The more I analyze this layout, and the more I sentimentally reacted to the fact that I nearly forgot this thing existed, yeah, I realized that I might not be as harsh on it. Either that, or the paint fumes from the shed or bathroom we just painted are probably wafting from downstairs by now. Or there's an open window and the shed paint is wafting into my room. Yeah, whatever. It's just Trailblazer. I probably have to rewrite it again just to realize it, to accept its mediocrity. I still have a gut feeling that I might have been a bit too harsh on it, but hey, it got a net gain of +1. Probably because of newcomers. Or something falling really far. Maybe Gotham City Gauntlet. Or Nighthawk. Number 126 is Dahlonega Mine Train. Similar sentiments of Trailblazer with a bigger layout and a bigger chance of giving you whiplash since this thing was literally built in the 60s. Yeah, everything that if you live in Georgia, you probably know that this thing is probably, I don't know, good for families, but not good for much else, especially since if you are an RMC, a Gerstlauer, or Eurofighter with lap bars, and a freaking B&M Hyper in the same park. And possibly a Raptor soon. I guess. Maybe not. Six Flags wouldn't. Yeah, Dahlonega is about as forgettable as you would anticipate it would be, and I just have similar sentiments. We're also continuing the long string of mine trains with the mine train, for lack of a better term. Redundancies ugly as intended. And this one's another outdated Six Flags mine train, and with really peaks from the interaction with the SoCal Magic Mountain terrain. It's rough, jerky. Well, it's actually the first ride I went on at my visit to Six Flags Magic Mountain because X2, Viper, Tatsu, and Apocalypse were all broken and didn't open up till the afternoon. And why Magic Mountain's a world caliber park when that happens is beyond me. So I got a guaranteed walk-on in this thing and went straight over to Riddler Avenger, because Justice League was doing press conferences that had literally opened probably less than a week prior. It was July. God, I don't really... God, Magic Mountain's a special thing. Number 124 is yet another mine train is Adventure Express. The first major loss since Gotham City Gauntlet at -4. It's an interesting attempt at a mine train, and rewriting it in 2017 made me realize this thing was utter crap. All the similar sentiments, as well as the anticlimactic ending, I probably took in more the theming when I rode this thing again in 2017, but there's a lot of the sentiments in 2016 apply, particularly the anticlimactic lift hill and the brake run combo. Those coasters drive me crazy. Except Ninja. Ninja at Magic Mountain's fun for what it does. Yeah, it's a good coaster. And I think it'd be a good coaster for those who, well, don't mind a bit of whip, don't mind a bit of jerky transitions. But Adventure Express is the worst coaster in the park that's not in Planet Snoopy. So, and even then, I think Woodstock Express can have it beat on a good day. Great Pumpkin Coaster has more airtime on it than really. So yeah, this thing is, not good. I'm just looking at it. It's hard to get footage of this thing if I really wanted to. Number 123 is Thunderbolts at Six Flags New England with a net gain of +3 despite not riding it in 2018. Whatever you visited Six Flags New England. I try my ever-loving hardest not to hate this thing. Yeah, I still can't achieve that goal. It's vintage, but that does not make it outdated. Well, it does not excuse it for being outdated, I should say, as it's rough. It jackhammers like no tomorrow. The layout is, it's the epitome of vintage, and there's some serious problems. In a modern day stance, it is outdated, but the Ace is keeping it alive on life support. Yeah, I'm not sure if it got any better from 2016 to 2018, but yeah, this thing, uh, I'd rather pass on this. It got a couple good airtime moments, I'll say that. Number 122 is yet another Valley Fair coaster, 3 of them off the board already. Bad from worse, much like Thunderbolts, another vintage Woody, which I'm pretty sure was the only coaster built by the manufacturer Rauerhorst. Am I reading that correctly? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they built this thing and just left. They realized what they did, they stared upon it, gasped, probably did some sort of expulsion from their body, and never built another thing again. It's rough, an astonishing amount of jackhammering for something that was built in '76, and has a nasty tendency to slam you into the front or the back of your seat, especially on the airtime hills in the bottom right. I did hear this thing overwent some retracking, but I'm not buying it fully, especially with the floods keep screwing this thing up. Yeah, but High Roller, it was my longest wait and the 3rd worst coaster at Valley Fair. At least you probably won't be seeing Valley Fair for about another 40 places. And number 121 to end the list is the end, well, hopefully the end of the Mine Train minus a couple, is Cedar Creek Mine Ride. A gain of 4, somehow. Rode it again in 2018 after a 5-minute wait, waiting for my fast lane for Steel Vengeance to open when it was running 1 train. Yada yada yada, bad as before, but it's guilty fun, especially since I have some home video of me doing 4 laps on this thing back in 2010. It was my favorite coaster other than Raptor back in that time. It's nostalgic to me in some ways, and there's some guiltily fun moments. Unfortunately, I also still get stuck on this thing. Yes, I'm a lanky dude, and if you're lanky on this ride, you have a chance of getting your knees stuck against the back of the next seat, or the row in front of you. Yeah, it's not fun, but, kind of is when you ride it and don't get stuck. I'd rather just do Skyhawk right next door. That's probably my definition of more fun. And either way, that's the end of it. It's also want to say Happy New Year and any other holiday I've actually missed, because I think at this time last year I also went on a very lengthy hiatus for the holidays. I'm not sure if that one was intentional though. And with the new year, you will expect another one of my channel traditions to be coming out very shortly, which is my intended 2019 travel plans. I got some juicy stuff, and I got some places I want to go. I got some people I want to do, and just yada yada yada. It's gonna be fun. And I think 2019 will be a much better year than 2018 already, with more plans possibly in the works throughout the spring as things boil. I'll be graduating high school, I'll be off to university in the fall of this year. It's going to be a big year for me, and I might as well do some big coaster finales. It's going to be fun, and I really can't wait to do any of these things. And I got some fun stuff coming up. You best believe it. So, with that out of the way, let's just hope I can finally break the dry spell of the hiatus and actually commit to doing things a little better. Hopefully, I've also been working a lot as of late, because we've had an astonishing turnover rate of 4 coworkers in about 2 months, all for my time shift. So I'm basically been the only guy doing my time shift for work that hasn't been flexed or whatever. It's been chaotic for the holidays as well, and I have a lot of reasons to why I haven't been recording. So, if you guys have enjoyed the video, feel free to like, comment, or subscription. I definitely need a bit of pick-me-up in terms of YouTube because of my 6-week vacancy or whatever it was. And I hope you guys have a great new year. Like 2019, I hope is a great year for us all. Happy hunting for some of the new 2019 American coasters like West Coast Racers, Yukon Striker, Copperhead Strike, and the one that matters to me the most, Max Force. Happy hunting, and for those who want to go to Japan to ride White Whale, to those who want to go to Europe to ride Fly at Phantasialand, yeah, there's going to be some fun stuff next year. So, happy hunting. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Once again, leave a like, comment, subscription, at your own accord, of course. And as always,